Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters chasing greatness, listen up because I'm about to drop a truth bomb that'll shatter your excuses forever. Discipline changes everything. Imagine waking up in a life you hate, broke weak, surrounded by mediocrity, then flipping the script through sheer unbreakable will. That's not a fairy tale. That's the power of discipline staring you in the face right now. Andrew Tate here, and if you're not disciplined, you're just another sheep in the herd grazing on regrets. But today, we're breaking chains. Hook number one, what if I told you that one decision to master your mornings could turn you from a nobody into a legend? Stick with me, because discipline isn't punishment, it's your ticket to domination. Think about it, brother. In a world full of distractions, endless scrolling, lazy excuses, and comfort traps, discipline is the weapon that separates winners from losers. I didn't build an empire by accident. I woke up at 4 a.m. every day, pushed my body to the limit in the gym, studied markets while others slept, and said no to every temptation that tried to derail me. Why? Because discipline changes your body first. You start hitting those weights, eating clean, and suddenly that flabby reflection in the mirror turns into a sculpted machine of power. But it doesn't stop there. Hook 2, ever seen a disciplined man crumble? No, because once you own your habits, your mind sharpens like a blade. No more foggy thoughts or procrastination. You're laser focused, making moves that multiply your money and multiply your influence. Now let's get real. Discipline transforms your relationships too. Weak men chase validation. Disciplined men command respect. I remember training with fighters who quit at the first sign of pain, and guess what? They stayed average. But the ones who pushed through, they became champions, surrounded by people who admired their grind. Discipline changes your finances, from scraping by to stacking cash, because you invest time in skills that pay off, not Netflix binges. It changes your legacy. Hook 3, picture your kids looking up to you not as a dreamer, but as a door who conquered obstacles. That's the ripple effect. Without discipline, life's a cycle of what-ifs. With it, every door swings wide open. I've lived it, escaped the matrix, built wealth empires, and now I'm telling you, start small, but start now. Track your days, cut the junk, and watch reality bend to your command. Discipline isn't easy, it's a war against your weaker self. But every battle won builds an unbreakable fortress around your goals. I've faced betrayals, legal battles, and doubters who said I'd fail. Yet here I stand, proof that discipline rewires your entire existence. It turns pain into progress, failure into fuel. So, brothers, rise up. Commit today. Let discipline change everything for you, just like it did for me. Imagine this. You're staring at the ceiling at 5 a.m., the world still cloaked in darkness, while everyone else hits snooze on their alarm like it's a lifeline to mediocrity. What if I told you that very moment, the one where you swing your legs out of bed and declare war on laziness, is the spark that ignites a body revolution? Discipline in conquering your physical self isn't some vague gym bro mantra, it's the foundational strike that topples weakness and erects an empire of strength. Andrew Tate here. Speaking straight, if you're not owning your body from the jump, you're surrendering to a life of soft edges and silent regrets. Hook 1, ever wondered why champions rise before the sun? Because dawn isn't just light breaking, it's your chance to break chains. Start with the wake-up call, brother. Discipline demands you reclaim your mornings, not as a chore, but as a ritual of dominance. Picture it. Cold water on your face, no scrolling, no coffee excuses, just you versus the inertia that's held you back. I built my physique not in fancy gyms with mirrors for vanity, but in the raw grind of early sessions where sweat meets resolve. Hit the weights at dawn, deadlifts that challenge your core, squats that forge legs like pistons, push-ups until your arms scream surrender. Why? Because every rep rewires your neural pathways, turning a dormant body into a precision machine. No more slouching through days, you're upright, energized, radiating the kind of vitality that turns heads and silences doubters. Fuel it right too. Ditch the processed junk that's poisoning your potential. Load up on lean proteins, greens that pack micronutrients like ammunition, and fats that sustain the fire. Discipline in nutrition isn't dieting, it's strategic warfare against the bloat and fatigue that keep average men grounded. Now, lean in closer. Hook 2. What happens when you look in the mirror after 30 days of this unyielding routine? That once familiar stranger, soft and unremarkable, morphs into a sculpted force, veins mapping paths of power across rippling muscle. I've lived it from a fighter's frame honed in rings of fire to a physique that commands boardrooms and bedrooms alike. Discipline changes the game because it eliminates excuses, rainy days, train harder, sore muscles, push deeper. Your body becomes a testament to your will, a walking billboard of what happens when you stop negotiating with comfort. Professionals in every arena know this. CEOs who run marathons close deals sharper. Entrepreneurs who lift heavy think bigger. It's not vanity, it's velocity, propelling you faster through life's gauntlet. But here's the real edge, the hook 3 that hooks you for life. Conquering your body spills over into every corner of existence. That discipline bleeds into boardroom battles where your posture alone asserts authority, or late night strategy sessions where your stamina outlasts the competition. Weakness melts away not just in fat percentages, but in the mental fog that once clouded your vision. Track it, measure your lifts, log your meals, celebrate the small wins that compound into colossal change. I've coached men from the brink of breakdown to peaks of prowess, all because they dared to wake up and own the dawn. No shortcuts, no sympathy for the undisciplined. Your body is the first battlefield. Win here, and the war is yours. Feel that surge already? That's discipline whispering. Now roar back and claim it. Picture this, you're adrift in an ocean of pings, notifications, and endless feeds, each one a siren call pulling you deeper into distraction's abyss. What if I told you that true power lies not in ignoring the storm, but in forging a mind so unbreakable that it slices through the chaos like a katana through silk? Discipline in sharpening your focus isn't a luxury. It's the elite edge that turns ordinary men into unstoppable forces. Andrew Tate speaking, in my world, where deals are struck in the shadows and battles, won before dawn, I've seen minds crumble under the weight of whims. But yours, it can be a fortress. Hook 1. Ever felt that fog descend after a day of scattered scrolling? That's the enemy whispering defeat. Time to silence it forever. Discipline demands you cut the noise with surgical precision. Start by auditing your environment. No more phone as your master. Set it to silent. Curate feeds that fuel ambition, not envy. Commit to deep work blocks. 90 minutes of pure immersion where emails wait and social media dies. I built my strategies this way. Analyzing markets. Scripting empires, while lesser minds bounced from task to task like pinballs. Why does it work? Because discipline rewires your brain's reward system, flooding it with dopamine from progress, not quick hits. Foggy doubts, they evaporate when you stack wins, journal your intentions nightly, visualize outcomes vividly, and watch indecision morph into decisive action. Professionals thrive here, surgeons steady in the OR, executives closing multi-million deals. Because a disciplined mind doesn't waver, it commands. Lean in, brother. Hook 2. Imagine staring down a high-stakes negotiation, heart steady, thoughts crystal, while your rival fumbles in mental mist. That's the unbreakable mind at play, born from habits like meditation at sunrise or reading blueprints of success before bed. Procrastination. It's the thief that steals futures, but discipline hunts it down. Break tasks into ruthless rituals, Pomodoro sprints with zero tolerance for drift, or accountability partners who call out your slips. I've trained with elite operators who turned battlefield chaos into calculated triumphs, all because they mastered the mental grind. Your focus becomes a superpower, laser-guided decisions that spot opportunities others miss, pivot from setbacks without a stutter, and propel you toward victories that echo for years. But the real alchemy happens deeper. Discipline transforms self-doubt into unyielding conviction. Hook 3. What if every "I can't" you utter is just undisciplined noise, and silencing it unlocks a torrent of potential? Track your mental metrics, mood logs, focus hours logged, and adjust like a CEO optimizing a portfolio. Surround yourself with sharp minds. Their energy hones yours. In my journey from the ring to global influence, it was this mental forge that turned raw drive into refined dominance. No more second guessing, just execution. Distractions fade as your mind elevates, ideas flow freer, creativity surges, and resilience hardens against life's punches. You're not just thinking clearer, you're thinking bigger, strategizing like a general, innovating like a mogul. Embrace the discipline, own the quiet hours, and emerge with a mind that doesn't bend. It breaks barriers. Feel that clarity creeping in already. That's your unbreakable mind awakening, ready to leave the dust of procrastination far behind. Envision a room full of shadows. People orbiting you like satellites, drawn not by your words, but by the gravitational pull of your disciplined presence. What if I told you that the bonds you forge aren't accidents of charm, but architecture built brick by brick through unyielding habits? Discipline and commanding respect within relationships isn't about manipulation. It's the quiet authority that turns acquaintances into allies, rivals into respecters, and followers into a loyal cadre. Andrew Tate here. I've navigated the treacherous waters of trust from sparring partners who bailed to networks that propelled me to the top, all because I showed up as a rock, not a reed. Hook 1 ever noticed how undisciplined men attract drama and distance, while the disciplined draw dynasties. That's no coincidence. It's cause and effect in the empire of influence. Discipline starts with consistency, the bedrock of unbreakable bonds. Weak habits, flaky promises, half-hearted efforts breed weak connections that fracture under pressure, but show up relentlessly, honor commitments like sacred oaths, deliver value without fanfare, and watch respect compound. In my world of high-stakes ventures, I lead by example. Early meetings, full accountability, no shortcuts. Why? Because people mirror what they see. Surround yourself with winners by becoming one first. Curate your circle ruthlessly, audit relationships quarterly, invest in those who grind alongside you, and prune the energy vampires who dilute your drive. Professionals master this. Diplomats who build coalitions through reliability, leaders who inspire teams with their own sweat. Your discipline signals strength, creating a magnetic field where others step up or step aside, forging networks that amplify your ascent. Now draw closer. Hook 2. Imagine walking into any negotiation or social arena and heads turn not from bluster, but from the aura of someone who's earned their stripes through disciplined deeds. That's the power shift. Relationships evolve from transactional to transformative. Lead by example in the trenches. Mentor without ego. Collaborate with intensity and celebrate collective wins. I've built unbreakable alliances in the fight game and business arenas where trust is currency, all rooted in showing up when it hurts. Discipline changes dynamics. It elevates you from participant to patriarch, where advice is sought and loyalty is given freely. No more toxic ties born of convenience. Your bonds become fortresses populated by high-caliber individuals who challenge and champion you. But the deeper revolution lies in self-respect's ripple. Hook 3. What if every disciplined choice in your interactions reprograms not just others' perceptions, but your own self-worth? Track it, log interactions, reflect on mutual growth, and adjust to foster elevation. In my journey, from underground rings to global stages, it was this relational discipline that turned solo hustles into synergistic empires. Weak men chase validation through games, disciplined men command it through genuineness, drawing partners, mentors, and mentees who mirror their mastery. Your presence becomes a beacon, confident posture, attentive listening, decisive support that inspires reciprocity. Influence multiplies. Family looks to you for guidance, colleagues for direction, friends for fire. Embrace the grind of consistent elevation, and your side won't just stand by you, it'll stand taller because of you. Feel that shift in your stance already. That's discipline reshaping your world, one respected bond at a time. Visualize a vault overflowing with gold, not from a lottery windfall, but from the sweat equity deposits you've made day after unrelenting day. What if I told you that wealth isn't hoarded by the lucky, but hammered out by the disciplined who treat time as their most lethal asset? Discipline in stacking wealth through relentless action isn't gambling on get-rich schemes. It's the engineered ascent from broke obscurity to boss-level dominance. Andrew Tate speaking. I've clawed my way from the mats of mixed martial arts to multimillion empires, not chasing rainbows, but forging fortunes through calculated grind. Hook 1 ever tallied the hours you've wasted on distractions that could have minted your millions? That's the wake up call. Time is treasure, and discipline is the miner who unearths it. It begins with ruthless investment in skills that pay dividends. No more passive consumption. Audit your calendar like a CFO reviews ledgers. Dedicate prime hours to high-yield pursuits, master coding for tech ventures, negotiate deals in sales arenas, or dissect markets in finance forums. I transform my fight earnings into property portfolios by studying blueprints nightly, turning knowledge into capital. Say no to waste, those late-night binges or impulse buys. They're thieves in disguise. Discipline enforces boundaries, budget with precision, automate savings, and redirect every spare cent into assets that appreciate. Professionals who amass wealth do this instinctively. Entrepreneurs who bootstrap startups, investors who compound through consistency. Watch opportunities multiply as your expertise compounds. A refined pitch lands clients, a sharpened insight spots undervalued stocks, and suddenly your network buzzes with collaborations that cascade cash flow. Lean in tighter. Hook 2, picture this. You're at a crossroads, one path lined with shiny distractions, the other a disciplined highway to abundance. Choose the grind, and from broke to boss becomes your biography. Relentless action means daily mastery, no half measures. Track metrics obsessively, income streams log, expenses slashed, progress charted weekly. I've built Bugattis and businesses by rejecting the comfort of complacency, investing in courses that cost time but yield empires. Discipline turns scarcity into surplus. It reprograms your mindset from consumer to creator, spotting leverage where others see limits. From freelancing gigs that scale to syndications that soar. The grind proves real power stems from persistence, not providence. Cut the fluff, eschew status symbols until they've earned their keep, and channel energy into ventures that scale exponentially. Yet the true alchemy unfolds in the multiplier effect. Hook 3. What if every disciplined dollar invested today echoes into dynasties tomorrow? Surround yourself with wealth builders. Their strategies sharpen yours, turning solo efforts into synergistic strikes. In my ascent, it was relentless networking. Coffee meets turned contracts, mentors' wisdom turned wisdom into wins that accelerated the stack. Discipline demands accountability partner with advisors who audit your moves, celebrate fiscal milestones without complacency. From the trenches of trading to the thrones of tycoons, it's the daily doors who dominate. Your actions compound like interest, skills evolve into expertise, networks into alliances, risks into rewards. No more scraping by. You're architecting abundance, proving that fortune favors the fierce, not the fortunate. Embrace the equation. Time plus tenacity equals treasure, and watch your empire rise brick by unbreakable brick. Sense that financial fire igniting within. That's discipline gearing up to turn your hustle into a harvest. Stand at the edge of your life and gaze into the horizon. Not the fleeting now, but the enduring echo of what you've built. What if I told you that every disciplined decision isn't a solitary stroke, but a ripple carving canyons across generations? Discipline in crafting a legacy that echoes isn't about fleeting fame. It's the strategic blueprint for an immortal impact where your triumphs teach and your grind inspires long after you're gone. Andrew Tate here. I've etched my name not in sand, but in stone, from the octagon to online empires, proving that true victors design destinies that outlive them. Hook 1. Ever pondered why history reveres the relentless few? Their legacies aren't accidents. They're disciplined dynasties calling you to join the ranks. Discipline begins with rising above the average, turning personal victories into public blueprints. No more blending into the blur of mediocrity. Audit your actions daily. Align them with visions that span decades. I forged my path by documenting every breakthrough, books, videos, ventures that serve as signposts for the ambitious. Teach through triumph, mentor emerging talents, share strategies in forums or fireside chats, and watch your influence multiply like a virus of virtue. Professionals who leave marks do this masterfully. Innovators like Musk blueprinting futures, philanthropists channeling wealth into waves of change. Your disciplined choices compound. A habit of excellence in business inspires your team to elevate industries, a commitment to integrity in family life models resilience for your lineage. Rise deliberately. Set legacy goals quarterly, track their propagation, and prune pursuits that dilute your doctrine. Now, pull up a chair. Hook 2. Imagine your story, not as a whisper in the wind, but a roar echoing through boardrooms and backyards where kids recite your principles like gospel. That's the disciplined legacy at work, born from habits that broadcast beyond borders. In my ascent, I turned personal pain into public power, podcasts that provoke, academies that accelerate, creating content that catapults others upward. Discipline demands dissemination. Codify your wisdom in writings, workshops, or wealth-building systems that self-sustain. Surround your circle with your ethos. Family dinners dissecting decisions, networks nurturing your narrative, and witness the ripple. Colleagues credit your counsel for their climbs. Communities cite your comebacks as catalysts. No more anonymous existence. You're the architect whose every brick bears your brand, inspiring elevation in every encounter. But the profound power surges in the immortal imprint. Hook 3. What if your disciplined life reprograms realities not just for you, but for multitudes? turning one man's mastery into mankind's momentum. Measure it, legacy logs of lives touched, feedback from those you fueled, and refine relentlessly. In my journey from fighter to figurehead, it was this forward-facing forge that amplified impact scholarship seeded from success, philosophies that free the trapped. Discipline isn't selfish, it's symbiotic. Where your sustained excellence seeds success in spheres unseen. Teach vulnerability veiled in victory, share scars as strategies, and your mark screams not success, but supremacy, guiding generations to grind greater. Your choices cascade from a single speech sparking startups to a lifetime of leadership lighting paths. Embrace the expanse, document, disseminate, dominate, and etch an echo that endures eternally. Hear that distant thunder building. That's your legacy gearing up to resound. Step into the arena of your own mind, where the greatest foe isn't out there in the world, but the shadow self lurking within, lazy, fearful, whispering sweet surrenders. What if I told you that discipline isn't a shield, but a sword forged in the fires of daily combat, slicing through that weaker version until only the warrior remains? Waging war on your weaker self through discipline is the ultimate revolution. Battle-tested grit that transforms ordinary existence into extraordinary conquest. Andrew Tate speaking, I've stared down my own demons in the ring and the real world, from brutal knockouts to business betrayals, emerging not scarred, but sculpted by the very struggles that tried to break me. Hook 1. Ever caught yourself sabotaging success with a single tomorrow? That's the enemy at the gates. Time to declare all-out war and claim your throne. Discipline ignites this internal crusade with precision strikes against laziness and fear. Begin at the break of day. Set non-negotiable rituals that your weaker self despises. Cold showers to jolt complacency, journaling to expose excuses, or silent reflection to dismantle doubts. No mercy, treat every temptation as an invasion. I honed this in the unforgiving octagon, where one flinch meant defeat, but pushing through pain built an armor of resilience that carried me to championships and cash flows. Why does it work? Because each victory, no matter how small, compounds neural strength. Fear shrinks as grit grows, laziness flees before the habit of hustle. Professionals who dominate arenas, from Wall Street wolves to Olympic gold medalists, wage this war relentlessly. They audit weaknesses weekly, counter them with countermeasures, and track triumphs to fuel the fight. Your daily battles rewire reality, turning "I can't" into "watch me" one disciplined dawn at a time. Now lock eyes with the truth. Hook 2. Imagine emerging from this self-imposed siege not battered, but unbreakable, your posture a proclamation of power that intimidates even your past frailties. Embrace the pain as your professor. In workouts that burn, negotiations that bruise, or setbacks that sting, lean into the discomfort. It's the forge where weakness withers. I've coached elite minds through their darkest hours, watching them rise by rejecting retreat, building empires on the bones of bad days. Discipline demands strategy, identify triggers, stress eating, doom scrolling, and deploy defenses like time challenges or accountability enforcers who won't let you fold. The revolution unfolds as habits harden, fear evolves from paralyzer to motivator, laziness from lord to lowly servant. You're not just surviving skirmishes, you're scripting sagas of supremacy, where every win echoes louder, propelling you from spectator to sovereign. But the deepest dominion comes in the total takeover. Hook 3, what if conquering your weaker self unlocks a cascade of conquests, rewiring not just habits, but your very essence into an unstoppable force? Measure the milli, progress journals, resilience ratings, and adapt like a general mid-battle. In my odyssey from underdog to icon, it was this war that weaponized will losses became lessons, doubts dissolved into drive, and the ordinary alchemized into the elite. Discipline is symbiotic warfare. Pair it with mentors who mirror your march, communities that catalyze your charge, and watch barriers shatter. Laziness loses its grip as purpose prevails. Fear fades before fortitude. Your life shifts from stagnant to surging, ordinary to opus, with each embrace of the grind etching unbreakable excellence. No more internal insurrections. You're the commander, the conqueror, the king of your kingdom. Sense that surge of steel in your spine. That's the war won, your stronger self stepping forward. Remember this, the man you become tomorrow is forged in the discipline you embrace today. No more delays, no more lies to yourself. Go out there, dominate, and change your world. Top G out. Now get to work.